Welcome to our deep dive into after-action reviews.
The purpose of an after-action review is to evaluate a process in a facilitated structure to review performance, outcomes, processes of a meeting.
Originally developed by the US military, it's now been adopted across a wide range of industries. And David and I use it as our go-to tool to evaluate any event, meeting or workshop we've been asked to facilitate.
The key objective is really to say what went well and what didn't work.
The second objective is to identify gaps between the expected outcomes and the actual outcomes.
And ultimately, we're trying to determine what the best next steps are for improving next time.
There are three key components of an AAR.
The first component is planning, making sure you're scheduling the post-event follow-up so you can have stakeholders and anybody involved available.
The second is preparation, making sure that you have all the material and notes and minutes and participation feedback available to review.
And then finally, facilitation, leading the AAR. You want to have somebody who's not biased, who's going to have a neutral facilitation so we can actually really get good information.
Classic AAR consists of four key questions.
First, we just want to start with what was expected to happen. What were the goals, the objectives, what was the original plan, and what was success supposed to look like?
The second question is what actually happened. Share data and facts about what happened. Don't interpret the data, just recount what happened and how people felt.
And then you want to take the expected and the actual. So we want to look at the differences. So we're going to do a gap analysis. So we're going to say, what were the expectations? What was the reality? Where did we miss? Were there any systemic issues?
And the fourth question is, what will we do differently next time? So taking all the information from the previous three steps, especially where there was a difference, look at the range of options you could do to improve or change or adapt your next gathering. There are some key benefits for conducting an AAR.
First is just really simply learning. Doing a review fosters learning from both successes and our failures.
The second is accountability, both individual and group, getting people to take responsibility for what happened and the outcomes.
The other thing that's really important is alignment. Alignment ensures that we're going to have the team's efforts in alignment with the goals of the organization or the objectives.
And the fourth is continuous improvement. By building an AAR into the way we do things around here, you start to foster a culture where you know everything is about continual improvement. There are three common pitfalls from running an AAR.
Insufficient planning is the first. If you don't have the pre-meeting data and you don't have the information you need, it could be a really futile exercise.
The second is blame culture, a focus on blaming individuals for something that happened in the gathering risks not understanding the systemic issues that underpin what actually happened.
And then the third is really poor follow-up. If we don't do anything with the items that we've identified, we're not taking the next step. It's almost worse to do it and do nothing than to have not done it at all.
Psychological safety, you know, is a theme that David and I come back to again and again. The effectiveness of an AAR is strongly influenced by the level of psychological safety of the participants.
We want to make sure participants are going to feel comfortable being open about sharing failures and shortcomings. And one of the ways we can do that is facilitators can really create ground rules for how they're going to engage.
So in summary, an AAR is not just a post-mortem for understanding what went right and wrong in a workshop. It is a vital tool for translating experience into organizational learning and continuous improvement.
So with careful planning and an openness to learning, you can really create a focus on action, learning from the review, and using that as a catalyst to really build a continuous learning environment.
So, as we always do at the end of one of these sessions, we move to reflection. We want you to think about how you can start to build AARs into the way you work.
And then think about who or what might help you do that in your organization, in your meetings.
And who or what might be a resistor that stops you getting this started, getting this happening, getting this part of the way we work around here. And think about how might you overcome their resistance.
So think about how do you bring an after-action review to everything that you do, whether it's a quick hit or a deeper dive, dramatically change your organization.